social media, Relax Radio, and we're going to be having this shared out to everybody that's out there that's following, that's having a wanting to know as it happens, that have a question and want answers.
Well, I don't think they am going to be able to share because I can't find the link.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can't find the link unless if you had shared it to my Facebook, or you can tag me on Facebook.
Yes. I will do that, and I will do exactly
because
that.
my Facebook is still Josephine Mudzingwa-Siziba.
All right. So what I'll do is I'll share it on my media, and then we will also send you the link to your to your phone, so that you can do the same for yourself on your other side, so that people can access what we are talking about at the moment. And which I've sent it to your WhatsApp, and I've also sent it to your. By the way, we are live, so as it happens,
I've sent you a message on the other WhatsApp of the phone that I'm using, because the other one is on live stream.
All right. So what I'll do is
if you check on the I found it now. So here,
so she is going live everywhere, so people can access the link on her on her Facebook, as well as her on her Facebook, as well as our Relax Radio social media. So yeah, she's going to be it's happening, and it's happening here.
Right. And I'm just gonna do this
for now, and we're going to be, in the meantime, we're going to be listening to some music as she hangs on, sort out her situation, and we're gonna be rocking and rolling the whole time thereafter. For the next 45 minutes, we're gonna be with the first Black councillor of the first Black councillor of I want to get it right.
Yeah, can you see me now?
I can see you now, very clear. The first Black councillor in 48 years in North Tyneside, England. And we have her here live on all our social media. And her name goes by Josephine Mudzingwa-Siziba. And her background is straight from Zimbabwe. How about that? And, let's have actually talk us through the whole process, the whole journey to her being the councillor with the landslide vote. And she's a Labour. Yeah. Talk to us. We're here.
Well, my name is Josephine Mudzingwa. Mudzingwa is like my maiden name, and is the name that has made me. I know that when people are married, connected to partners or something, you have to change your surname to your husband or to your partners. I have decided to take them all, because I won't be doing justice to my parents if I leave out Mudzingwa. Mudzingwa Tebute is my father, who sent me to school and was very persistent and made me to be who I am today.
Okay.
The Sizivas are the receivers of the success. They just enjoy it. Yeah. So, what I wanted to actually say is, this has been a long journey.
Yes.
And sometimes you will never know your journey, and you always have to follow your journey, because God is the person who guides you wherever you're going. My story is very, very interesting. It's a very good story of Joseph of the Bible.
Okay.
I come from a little village called Shashesko in Mashingo, Zimbabwe. And I went to St. Joseph Primary School. But because my parents were teacher, my father was a teacher and my mother was a nurse, so we were moving from different school to school to school. I think they were looking at getting closer to home. So they started from Mashaba mine, and then located to somewhere which was near to their home, until finally they ended up at a St. Joseph mission. So that's where I went to school finally.
I suppose that's a Catholic school, is that?
Yeah, that's a Catholic school.
Okay.
And I came to England in 2000. And it wasn't an easy journey, because I came here and left my children back home.
Okay.
When you travel, you don't know where you're going. This work for me becoming a councillor, it started by somebody who was racist to me. When I moved to live in North Tyneside, where I am now the first Black councillor in 48 years.
Have you seen that person?
The lady, she cut my watch line. My daughter was 6 months, my daughter Michelle Chivindiso was born in United Kingdom, St. Helier Hospital, but we had to move to go and stay in Newcastle. My first day of living in Meadowell, I washed my baby clothes early morning. About 7 o'clock, I'm putting the clothes in the wash line. She came with the scissors and she cut my wash line and leaving my baby clothes in the ground, in the grass. And she never even said a word, and she walked away.
Wow.
And when I looked at the whole situation, I was looking at her, looking at my clothes, looking at her, looking at the wash line, and I'm just thinking, why are you doing that? That was what I was saying in my mind, but I didn't say it loud. I was thinking, why are you doing that? Why can't you even say? Why can't you talk to me? But she walked away. I think when she was a little bit far away from me, and then I said, why? And then she said, it's in my garden. And I'm like, when you have all the words to say, but you can't just say them.
Yeah.
I couldn't say, but you know what I wanted to say. I wanted to say, if it was in your garden, why didn't you come and tell me? If you thought I couldn't speak, you could have told me with sign to say, take off your clothes. That's my wash line. Don't use it or something. But yeah, that's how I started to do my work, my political work. That was in 2003. Well, I came to England 2000, but I started to do this work 2003, first day of coming to live in North Tyneside in Meadowell.
So you started to say, no,
I was worried. I was worried. I was scared. I didn't know what was going to happen next, because the anger that was coming, and being shouted at, you don't make noise, you're making noise, you're not allowed to be here, and stuff like that. And then eventually I just thought, well, I absolutely think that people who are around this area, they don't know anything about Black people. They don't know anything about us. And maybe that is the reason why they're being like that. I started going to door, knocking people's doors so that they could come to my house, and I could cook for them, so they could touch my skin, so that they could touch my hair. and talk to me about what they were thinking about me, because I realized that somebody was maybe thinking that we are not the same. I don't feel the same pain because I'm black and everything else. So that is the reason why I was like focusing on talking to these people face to face and being close to them. And then they can feel me, then they can talk to me, and then maybe they could tell me what was the problem.
That was really a good move, something that I wouldn't have thought of, and that alone is a bold move for a start, because I'm thinking, if you are in a position to say, I'm going to devise a plan, and this is how I'm going to go about with the plan, so that I can also be recognized and seen as a person, because ultimately I'm a person. I mean, we know the sort of people that they are from back home. Although it was interesting for me to know that in as much as people here have the color skin, they also want to say, no, in as much as I've got this color skin, I'm of this type of people. In as much as I'm of this, I'm also Cockney, I'm also from Liverpool, I'm also from, it's, you know, that whole sort of thing. So what then happened?
What then happened was when I was knocking on doors, I didn't know whether the people were going to come or not come. I really didn't care, because I had like my two kids were here. And then my daughter had just arrived. My daughter, who was 16 at that moment, was arriving like that week. So my fear was, I don't know what's going to happen to these kids when they go to school. If people are like this, maybe they're going to beat him, maybe they're going to kill him. And then my other daughter came, and he was also going to college. And I, as a parent, I couldn't go to all three places at the same time.
Of course.
And I was having this fear that if something is going to happen to my kids, what am I going to do? I can't protect them and be everywhere with them. And that became my drive. That became my reason to pursue in making people know us and know who we are.
Yes.
And it wasn't that simple. So when they came to my house, I started talking to everyone about who I am. And I actually said, okay, I want to cook for you. I'm cooking African food, and I want everybody to taste it. And then you can actually tell me what you feel about the whole issue. And I didn't say about the issue about racism. I just said I wanted you to teach you my culture, so you can understand about me and my children and the Black people's culture, and also other people who are Muslim or different culture to them. That was my aim. So when we cooked and we were eating the food, and then I said, does anybody want to touch my hair? And so people were coming. Everybody was like, how do you do little curls like this? And then people wanted to touch my skin, and I was free because I made myself vulnerable. But then I actually wanted everybody to touch my skin and feel if I felt exactly how they felt. And that was the beginning. We started, it was just like a clear joke. I never thought we were going to do anything serious. And then when we were talking and eating, I was talking to them about what Africa is like. Did you come here? How did you come here? Did you come here on top of an animal? People were thinking I'm living in a jungle where there is no proper houses. So how did you get into a plane? They have aeroplanes in Africa? It was so interesting how people's imagination is so limited if they are not exposed. And then after that, we had our food. I said, let's pray. So the kids were like, I think we had 12 kids who were same age, same class with my son. I think he was in year 5 or year 6. Can't remember that. And then, my little girl was just so little. I think it was 3 years or something like that. And then we started saying, okay, I'm going to teach you the African dance, how it is being danced. And then we started doing it in my house. Everybody was making funny and laughing. Then the next weekend, we started saying, well, it's boring. My son is going to be teaching them to do breakdancing. So the kids went outside while us as parents were inside talking about life and the whole situation. I started, and then as weeks go by, we started having more things to talk about my culture. And I said, well, I've told you almost everything about what I think you should know. You should start teaching me about your culture. So there was a lady called Jean Jean O'Keefe. She was Scottish, so she also said, well, me, I'm Scottish. I also face racism just the same as you do. And I'm like, no, and she told me all her hassles, how she went through the kind of racism the Scottish face from the British people. And this was so funny. And then, but then she started teaching me about Halloween. And I said, no, Halloween is evil, is the devil, and things like that. And she said, no, in our culture, we are teaching our children to scare the devil. So if you want to be like a thief, you set a thief to catch a thief. So that's why we dress up to be like them. So we can scare the devil even more with blood and everything. That's why we have our children doing that. And we think it's really good because the devil will never scare them. Right. Okay. And then that was my first time to go to a Halloween party. I had a plastic, a bean bag. She tear a bean bag on this side and this side. So it's already like a dress. And then she gave me like a tea hat, which is like that. And me and my daughter went for a Halloween party. But that became from that kind of relationship that we had. And we were never scared of the Halloween again, because they used to come to my house and scare my daughter to death, and we would be screaming. And then when we started joining in, we didn't then become scared about all these things that were happening. And I think that was a great move, because before, people knew that we were vulnerable and very scared. So they would always come to our house 3 times, 4 times a night, or even when it's not a Halloween day, they just knock wearing those things. And then you scream and they get to laugh really hard.
I suppose then it helped you. It helped you sort of infiltrate into the different culture that was in, and sort of understand the different cultures that was in your presence. And then now, how did you find yourself in politics, so to say?
Because just talking to people at my house was not enough for me. I wanted to reach out to other people who are elsewhere. So there were protests that were happening against the EDL, against Trump, against racism. So I would organize, let's go and do a protest against racism. So people would come and join me. And then we would go in the town, Newcastle, at the monument, and then we would march saying no to racism. And in fact, I was the minority in the group of who were campaigning against racism.
Okay.
If you if you go on my profile, you will see that Black people or ethnic minority people were undermined by the level of people's love who were also against racism. We had almost over 5,000 people marching against racism.
Yes.
I couldn't. It was so real for me. I couldn't believe. And then I was asked to speak. So I would speak how I feel, how people should treat each other. and stuff like that. And that didn't stop there, because then I was told that, well, no, people are campaigning. So when Jeremy Corbyn time came, I thought, well, this is the best time. I'm just going to go and become. Yeah, but I didn't know also that there are some of the things that are done inside, like the selections are done inside whichever party you belong to. Okay. So if you are not belonging to any party, they can't choose you. Even if you are very active on anything. I was so disappointed at that moment, because then I had to become a member of a party. And then after becoming a member of a party, you have to stay there for about 6 months. Then they can be able to give you an interview. And then after the interview, then you can be successful and become a councillor. But my journey was so surreal, because that time I was able to move motions to say, like, we don't have any black people, we need more black people, so I need the selection to be higher. So I was selected, I think, in 8 wards, eight wards, 8 wards or 10 wards. And all those 10 wards, I said, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to attend the interviews, because the motion we voted for was to proportional representation. So obviously, I had to be selected in every ward. Almost those who were following the standing orders, they selected me. So I went for the interview, but I was rejected 7 times.
Ouch.
I never, when I was tired, when I was losing hope, when I had the last word that was there, that's when I actually became successful, because I became authentic. I became authentic to myself, and I became authentic to the people. Yes, because I was thinking, actually, I am charismatic. Actually, I am good. But the reason that I'm thinking I might not be chosen is because of the color of my skin. So I asked the people when they were choosing, do not choose me because of the color of my skin, or do not choose me because of who I am. Choose me because of what I am and what I deliver. And you know that I'm charismatic. You know it that I am loving. You know it that I can speak to people. You know it that I can motivate people. You know it that I can do this. And if you don't like that, then don't choose me. That is how the final selection. Inside, before the one which we did outside. If you are not selected from inside, you can never become a councillor.
It can never happen.
No.
So the spirit of the young girl from Masvingo came up and took charge, and the ancestors from your father's side came and made things happen.
No, actually, it was my husband who was really the one who was very faithful. For me, I had already given up. I said, you know what? I've done all the 7 and I've been rejected, no matter how good I tried to become. And I think is the end of the road. My husband was like, no, you are faithful. You are not faithful. Your place is still there. And I'm like, no. How is my place still there? There is a councillor who is already in that ward and who was a cabinet member. But when faith succeeds everything else, it happened. And it was not because I'm brilliant. It was because I was authentic. I was genuine. I spoke from the heart, not from my head. And I asked people to vote from their heart and not from their head. And they did.
And here you are. You are the councillor. And you're the first black councillor of the area. Now, what do you have to tell other black girls out there that have a dream? I suppose what's happening is they are inspired by there's a lot of what's on the media is the Rihannas, the Beyoncés, and all that. But then we also have you, and on this platform you are able to tell all the girl kids out there that it is possible. It is possible because here you are. I'm sure. I don't know how to put this. It's at your age. I'm sure you've had this dream. So considering that you was here in 2002 and the whole experience.
No, 2000.
2000. Yeah. So when you moved to the area that you're in now. Okay, let's take it from that point, 2000, and the dream has come from all that time to now, and from what I've seen on Facebook is the number of education stats that you have, the masters and the all that you've been doing, and what can you tell the girl child to tell them to rest assure them that it is possible to reach the highest point?
The what I'm telling the girl child is something, especially the people who are facing racism. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. If I had reacted by fighting,
yes,
I would have gone nowhere.
Yes, that's true.
That was the beginning of my journey. My journey would have been filled by either being killed totally or being a story of the newspaper. And then I also have Martin Luther Jr.'s speech that says that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice anyway. If you do injustice and you continue with injustice, it will be in injustice somewhere.
Yes.
And there's always time to do what's right.
Exactly.
People did not understand because I had most of my friends living here. Meadowell, if you go on Google right now and type Meadowell riots, you will see that the people of Meadowell were burning houses of Black people.
Wow.
They because one of the person who was the refugee asylum seeker who came to live in Meadowell was a presidential person. So the care and support that's given to a presidential person is they are given a security guard. They are given a taxi to wherever they are going. They are given high level security. And they are treated just as a president, or even if they are asylum seekers in a different country. So they came to live in Meadowell. They had a big luxurious taxi coming to their house to take them to Asda to go and shop. And they will do shopping, and then they will be brought back home from Asda with everything that they want, with their children and everything. And then when at their house, they would have a security guard looking after them, because in case the perpetrators from whichever country can come. This is a president of a different country.
Yes.
So what the people of Meadowell were thinking, like, oh my God, this is what's happening to all the Black people who are coming here. They have a security guard. They are given property in their house, and they are looked after. They go to Asda, they buy whatever they want. They come back in the house at night. A security guard, a police officer sleeps outside, not inside, outside their house, looking after them.
They were
like, let's ban. So they were like, let's ban all the Blacks here. And even whether you are not Black, you are still Indian, or you are an ethnic minority, they would burn their houses and push them away.
Man.
Because they felt that the treatment that's being done is not fair for on their own level, because they were thinking, how dare you can say you are helping these people by bringing them to take not only our luxury, but to be given extra liberty. And then they live in a house where they are not even paying rent. and then they have their grocery bought for them by taxi and every luxury they are having. And they were saying like, no, we can't have this.
We can't.
So all the black people who were available in North Tyneside, they had to flee. If you don't flee for your life, you are gonna die. So when we came here 2003, the government was actually testing the waters to see what's gonna happen. And obviously we couldn't pass through from Meadowell, from like Venrod, to cross to Riverside to go to primary school with my daughter. People will throw ice, stones, show fingers. It was nasty. And most of the people actually, they moved back to London. And most of the people also moved back to different places because of the way how things were, the way how we were treated.
Okay. Because they saw it happen, isn't it?
Yeah. And then that was the reason why I myself, as an individual, I told myself that I'm not going to run. I can't run away from Zimbabwe and then come here and start running away again. You are in the place where I was supposed to be looked after. So I said to myself, I'm not running. And that's how I then thought of, I think in my mind, I was just thinking, I think people are so ignorant. If they don't know anything, they've got fear of what they do not know. But I think if they will know me and know my children, I think they will have nothing to fear. That is what I told myself. Nobody actually gave me on the silver plate to say, this is the action that you should do. That is what is going to help you. But after doing that, tell me what happened. The mayor saw the work because we were dancing in my house. My it was a 2-bedroom flat. We were dancing with the kids. We were eating, all of us. And when we had the show for the refugee services, I said, I've got 3 acts that I want to do. People look at me thinking this one is funny. How are you going to do 3 acts? I said, one is going to be African dance. The other one is going to be a play about the chief and African chief. And then the other one is going to be breakdancing. Nobody, they were like, what? And they never even said, like, show us what is going to be done, or we were going to be embarrassed. What's going to. So on the day when the show was happening, more than 12 families lining up to do the African dance. It was a shocker. And I think 12 boys and then parents. So we were a big group. And then the mayor said, no, boy, Josephine, you need an office. You know, I was putting her office before I even know. I didn't know that I'm becoming a project worker. You need an office. And then you need consent forms. You can't just have children dance. You need timetable. You need funding. You need everything. After the show, we did one where the king was having, because this other boy said, Auntie, I can't dance. He's a white guy calling me Auntie Josephine. Auntie, I can't dance. So what am I going to do? I have to be involved. I said, okay, you're going to be the king. So people are going to come to you singing and giving gifts and stuff like that. So we give him a big cloth to cover himself and a big crown. So he was sitting there and people were singing African songs, going to the king with the harvest and stuff like that. It was surreal. After the show, tomorrow morning on a Monday, I was called to the office. This is your office. You will tell the manager what days you want to do the dance, what days you want to do the acting, what days you want to do that, and the funding will be available. You are going to be getting your funding as the project worker, and then other people as volunteers, and then there are going to be these forms, and stuff like that. It was so real. But that is what actually happened, and I'm so proud, and I'm wanting people to understand that is the reason why I had the inauguration is by the chief, because I don't want to forget my roots. No matter where you are, do not even forget your roots.
Yeah, that's pretty much. It's really important to remember your roots, and saying that is, well, what do you think about identity as a whole? Like the way the diversity of people, and we're coming into these metropolitan areas, cities, and so forth. What do you think of how people should carry themselves in terms of carrying their identity along with them?
Could you explain again?
What do you think about identity as a whole? Because we find ourselves in these metropolitan cities, and sometimes we are sort of swallowed into what is happening here. And you know the statement, "Do the Romans what the Romans do," but then at the same time, it's ideal that you keep your identity and culture from where you're from, although you're going to see things that people where you are going to practice. What do you think of that as a whole?
What I think is, for me, the most important thing is about do not forget who you are.
Okay.
And always be authentic to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, when they get into these more metropolitan places, they want to be somebody else who they are not.
Mm-hmm.
I started teaching at Northumbria University. If I will copy you the letters that came from my tutors. Josephine, we really like your story about being a refugee. Could you come and teach the social workers how they can deal with refugee children? We really like your story about racism. Can you come and teach about, I became an associate lecturer from nowhere. I had no training, no nothing. It was authenticity and being who you are and being honest to who you are.
Yes.
So I tell people that when you go to the metropolitan places, the people, they don't want you to be them. They want you to be you. But most of our children, they will not eat their own food. They will think, oh no, I can't be seen eating sada. I can't be seen eating fufu. I have to start eating burgers. When I went to university, I still carried my sada. And people would look at me and I would also look at them because I'm thinking, I have to be authentic to myself. People don't like me to be them. They want me to be me. And most people lose themselves because they don't want to become themselves. This is how we lose. We lose on who we are.
I think what we ought to do to ourselves also is to also tell our kids and tell ourselves the good things about us. Then we can take pride in us. That way we can carry with us the positive things that are good about us. That way we're able to be ourselves. But if we continue to look down on ourselves, then it's a challenge for somebody who's looking up to you to think that they have to carry themselves like you.
No, what I'm thinking is the reason why I am the first Black councillor in North Tyneside in 48 years. It's lonely in the chamber. I don't want to be the only and first Black councillor in 48 years. Where is everybody? We need to be representing our children. Yes. We need to be representing our children in the office, in the high offices that are changing our own. Do you know what we discuss? We discuss about how the local authority is going to work. How are the people going to live? How are they going to be supported? And if you are not on that table, how do you think you are going to be a representative of your own children? They don't see anybody who has been a counselor. They don't see anybody who has been a head teacher. They don't see anybody who if we want to learn, we should learn from the Asian minority. They have managed to put their children to learn and become members. Be involved. If you are not involved, then how do you want to be involved in the conversation when you are not even represented? I don't want to be the only, and I don't want to be, even if I'm proud that I'm the first Black councillor, and this is history and it will never change. Even if I don't win next year, I want in 2024, I want other people to also sit in the chamber with me and represent our society and represent their society. Do you know, on my votes, I got 1,577 votes. The Tories got 534 votes.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, whoa.
Yeah. And when you look at it, it was not Black people that voted for me. The 1,577 were not Black people. I think Black people were a 10th. Okay. So when you are looking at the community, it's my community. They love me. They voted for me. I will do to please them because they put me in this position with the faith that I'm going to serve them. But all the same, I'm not representing just them. I'm also representing the Black community, the ethnic minority, the forgotten in the community. And I want also those people and those mothers to think, oh, Josephine said it's lonely in the chamber. I don't want to be the only. And I'm going to fight to make sure that we have more diversity, because that's how the world is. The world is not one man centered. It has got everyone in it. If you go to London in a train, you will never imagine. But because up here, it's a little bit different because we are still very few. But if you go to London, that's why you see that even the Conservative have got now a Black Prime Minister. But Labour, we are still a long way to go. But if we follow what they are doing, we will find that every person needs to be represented in any high office.
Yeah, but then how can we balance merit and diversity?
Merit is on the individual. You have to be consistent. You have to be determined. If you go and check Josephine, you will see that I was hungry. I was hungry every day. And if I go to that protest, I don't care if somebody is going to shoot me. I will stand up in the middle of the people and talk about justice and talk about equality and talk without fear. And I don't know, you can imagine if somebody would just shoot me like what they did at Martin Luther King, but I wasn't thinking about me. I was thinking of my children and the people. That is the reason why the people of Benton Ward voted for me, because they know that I am courageous. They know that I'm committed. And they know that I will not let them down. I didn't just fight against racism. I fight against the poor economy, when the jobs are being taken out of the people. And the people, when my people cannot get warm, it's me who has to be their voice because they chose me.
Yeah. Can you find yourself going back to Zimbabwe and being the president?
It is said that never say no, because if you listened to the chief when he was talking, do you know what he said?
Go on, I'm listening. Tell them what
he said. You didn't do this on your own. You didn't put. He said, when you are moving with the people and to the people, listen to even the ones that didn't vote for you. You didn't put yourself in this position. It was the ancestors and the spirits that put you where you are. So you follow the orders and the directions. It is them that will lead me to wherever I am going. I didn't know that I was going to be the first Black councillor in North Tyneside. Did you know that I was also the first Black person from Zimbabwe to be on Channel 4 television?
Oh my days.
We did a program which I was representing people called Britain My New Home. The program went on TV like for 5 solid years. And I did another program on poverty. The country has got 65 million people to be chosen in 65 million people. If you look at the program called The Queen of North Shields, I did The Queen of North Shields. It was on TV. I don't know, for the whole year. And I was talking, we were representing poverty here in Meadowell and poverty in Zimbabwe. I had to go to Zimbabwe to film there and film here, and then compare the types of poverty when people are poor in Africa, what they call poverty, and poor here. They are all poor, but they had different types of poverty. Yeah. So you cannot talk about fate, because God is the one who guides people. It is the will of the Allah or unknown God who will guide you to wherever your destiny is. I cannot say I can't go to Zimbabwe to become a president. I cannot say I cannot become a member of parliament. I cannot say I cannot become second Boris Johnson. But
good one,
it's the same when you know you've got your calling. God has called you. He will be guiding the way. What I do is to become authentic to myself and to believe in my calling. If I'm called to help people, I will be helping people. I continue to help, and the road is opened that way.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, you know what? It's been a really lovely conversation. We've even had to go past by 4 minutes, and because you've been saying a lot of good stuff, and I appreciate you for coming out here. Thank you so much for coming through. We appreciate you for blessing Relux Radio Lunch Munch show on this very day. Thank you so much.
Well, my message to every girl and every boy is keep dreaming. Keep dreaming. Keep working hard. You don't know what is lying in front of you. Your dream will come true. God does amazing things. And if you keep dreaming and if you keep working hard, something definitely is going to happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been a lovely time. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming through.
You're welcome.